hot dog. Welcome to another episode. Oh, look at this camera.
Oh my god.
It's episode 44. And today we have a pair of special guests. But before I introduce them, some house cleaning. If you want to follow us on Instagram, follow us at CatsPotatoes37. And our subscribers were at 68? Help us reach 100 before the end of the year. Let's get it. 100. So if my math is correct, 32. Thank you, Edward, mathematician over there.
You would have gotten 110.
Yeah.
No, because I just shook at 40.
Yeah, I was like, but before we go, so it is I, Luis, it is him,
Bruce,
and it is that
Edward.
Awesome. So we're all together. Our intern isn't here today. She had better things to do, apparently. It's fine. It is what it is. I do a better job anyways. But here we go. You feel the tension in the room. It feels good. But ladies and gentlemen,
Pass me the drum.
the creators,
where'd it go?
the content developers, the fantastic minds, the geniuses, the game players, the artists, the speakers, the hosts of Jumblhoj. Did I say the name right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to speak. You broke the rule. That was a test. But ladies and gentlemen,
That's it.
everybody, round of applause for our guys.
Hey,
Yeah, what's
thank
up?
you guys. Thank you guys so much for having us.
It's great to have you guys here finally after.
But by the way, I'm Victor.
Yeah, I was about to.
I'm Joel.
Yeah,
Let's make
just-
that very clear.
I know.
This is who we are.
I mean, people do say we look alike. You know, we could be twins. That's all
Hey
I'm
man,
saying. Yeah.
hey man, it's all part of
That's
it.
the dad and that's the son, by the way.
All right.
I want to see a paternity test.
Oh,
What if it was like, what if we had discovered 190? What is it, 99.9% when they do the Maury test? Do you guys watch Maury?
Yeah,
we
when I
used
was
to.
little.
You're not the father.
The dude,
I just watch it for the dance routine.
yeah, the dad just runs around. Yeah.
That's how I learned how to dance.
Cameramen are like super agents running around the whole thing.
bro.
But yeah, it's great to finally have you guys. The long-awaited crossover podcast episode of the two greatest podcasts in the world, seen by millions around not just the world, the universe.
Ooh.
That's right.
So should we translate this to like alien speech?
Yeah, I was about to do it.
Yeah?
What's it?
All right, there you go.
That was part of it. Ain't not.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So what I just said.
I don't think you could say that online though. That's very like hurtful at the end, man. You sure? You sure? There we go.
And what that translates to is welcome. So thank you guys for coming. But yeah, how you guys doing? How you guys feeling? It's great to have you guys on the
Who
show.
are you guys?
In the studio.
Who are you, Edward? Who are we?
Who am I? Who are you?
We are the Knights.
I mean,
Go for it,
I
Jones.
guess I'm not gonna speak for it. I'm good. I'm running on like nothing. Because I could be like, we're good, but I don't know.
I don't know if Victor's having like a mental
I know,
breakdown
it's hitting
inside.
it's like hitting some hard time. No, I'm good. I just like, I came back from Berkeley last night, so
Oh, shit.
Nice.
running on like
TFTA.
nothing.
What'd you go to Berkeley for?
We went to go pick up my
Sister.
sister's dog because she's gonna go to a conference.
I was like,
Ooh.
Yeah, but we
Damn.
left like Thursday. Like midnight Thursday, and we got back at 2 a.m. Friday.
oh shit.
So he's like not even running on any sleep.
Yeah,
God.
Running on coffee.
Running on just
not
coffee
white
and-
eyes.
He's like, nah, man.
I know. It's like, oh shit, it's demons.
Just like tape the fucking eyes back.
I'm good. Let's go.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty good.
What about
I know, I'm not good.
You sure? Like,
Yeah, I'm sure.
You don't want to tell him about that thing?
Yeah,
No, I'm good, guys. Yeah, thank you for having us right here. I really appreciate it. I'm just tired from work. I came right back from work, right outside from work, so I'm good. I work at a coffee shop, and that's also like another shout out with him. That's another shout out to our podcast, Cafe Talk. Just what is it called?
plug us.
Plug it. Yeah.
It's too early for plugs. We'll do it at the end.
But yeah, so at the cafe, that's where I work. So I just came from there, and I'm good. I'm feeling good. Got some Monster Energy here to keep me going.
Hey.
Yeah, like
Sponsor me, Monster.
The whole time. Beep. Sponsored by.
Sponsor me.
Wait.
It's just like blurry cat. Yeah.
But no, yeah, glad to have you guys on the show. Do you guys are you guys enjoying the view from the seventh? What are we? Eighth floor of our downtown office.
See, honestly, when we got here, we went to the lobby, and the lobby boy actually like almost tried to kick us out. So I don't know what's up with that. I thought you guys were gonna tell him, man.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's our bad. It's our apologies. We'll have a talk with him. But yeah, it's great to have you guys in the studio. Before we dive deep into your organization, your company, we I'm sure we've all seen the film Joker as of now at this point. So if you're watching this, spoilers. If you don't care, continue watching.
I mean, some people don't have money, man.
Hey,
Bro, you can live stream it on the internet.
All right.
We do not condone.
Who watching the Joker? But yeah, so we're gonna jump into that. But let's get started. What did you guys think? I'll start with our guest today. What did you guys think?
Go first.
These.
I'm definitely
Go
passing
for
the
it,
spotlight
yeah.
to you, man. Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was a pretty good film.
Free crash.
Like, I don't know. I'm so tired. I mean, okay, like, I thought the movie was good. There's no specific point in the movie that I can, like, point out that was really good. Joaquin Phoenix's acting was amazing. I feel like he took the Joker role and just, like, ran it and made it his own. So instead of, like, trying to point out what was good with the movie, can I just tell you, like, my one fault with the movie?
Go for it. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, the only thing that, like, troubled me was the way...
What?
Go.
I swear to God, it better not be the same as me.
It probably is.
Okay, go for it.
Is how they like threw in fucking Batman's origin in there, like while they were riding and the Joker like got hit by the cop car. Like they had to just put that little scene where like Martha and Thomas like escort Bruce out and the thug with the Joker mask just comes and like shoots him. I felt like that was such a second afterthought to the movie that if they didn't put it in, like,
Go.
God, I feel like there's like this tension here.
You guys about to go
Okay,
in on that?
it's sexual tension.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. I feel like even if it didn't have that, the movie would have been fine, if not better.
All right. So why you didn't like it? Because it was second what?
It felt like just such a
Unnecessary, would you say?
like it was more of an
Okay.
afterthought or something. Like as they were wrapping up filming, some intern was probably like, "Hey, you know, it'd be cool if we did this."
Throw that in
And the
there,
director
bro.
was like, "Yeah, let's do that."
We need Batman.
It can't be a Batman movie without Batman.
What about?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something. And
No, you're gonna. Because I know Victor's view already, so I was gonna ask him what's next.
So mine is pretty much the same thing. Thanks, Roland, for just like
Look.
sandbagging me
Oh,
right there.
you're the one that was like, "Joel, go ahead. By all means, take the lead." All right.
But then I would have sandbagged you, and I would have been a bad guy. So
Yeah, but you're better
the
at
bad
explaining this stuff.
guy. All right.
God.
Cool.
Thank you. So pretty much the same thing. The only problem I had was that scene, but it's not the scene in general that I had the problem with. The problem I had was the fact that the Joe Chill, the guy that killed Bruce's parents, was wearing the Joker mask. Because in comics and every other movie, like even live action, Bruce sees Joe Chill's face, which later in turn in life is what encourages him to like realize that all criminals, even the Joker or like monsters or like Killer Croc and stuff like that, they're all just humans that have like illnesses that he could treat, that he wants to help them out. But with this movie, making Joe Chill wear that mask just kind of defeats the purpose. Like he doesn't really see him as like, or at least I believe he wouldn't see him as another normal person. He would just see him as like a mob mentality. You know what I mean? It's because of the Joker. It would cause Batman to be
Resentful.
Yeah, resentful to the Joker himself. So yeah, it would create more problems for the Joker and Batman and causing him more fights and stuff. But it would take away from the fact that Batman does what he does because of what happened. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
So in the comics, they actually give the guy that shoots his parents a name.
Yeah.
Joe
His
Chill.
name's Joe Chill.
Joe Chill.
And does he like become someone throughout the thing, like
Nah, he should-
a villain or something, or he
No,
like,
he's
just
No, he's just
normal.
a-
He's just like some thug.
okay.
Yeah, he's just a
Okay.
random.
I mean, don't
thug.
do they give him a name in like the Dark Knight?
I don't think.
I don't remember, but in
I
the
doubt it.
comics,
Yeah, I think he was just.
Yeah, in the comics-
That's how I was surprised when you say Joe Chill. I was like, who the fuck is that?
yeah,
Yeah.
I was
Bruce
like, oh,
Bruce
okay.
finds out who he is, and he's like, it was just a random thug who just wanted
Get
the pearls.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's all he wanted.
Like he didn't even want to like take down society or like
No,
the rich
just-
people's society.
Yeah.
He was just needed money
Yeah,
to
just
eat,
the robber.
to survive.
Yeah.
So clearly, we know which one's the smarter one of these two, because
Well, I don't know.
his
God, I don't
was a
read
good
comics and watch
reason.
Neither, bro.
This
He's
guy,
he's
I don't
just
know.
sleepy, man. You
No.
can't fault him for that. Like,
Defend
come on.
yourself.
Don't just stand there.
He's barely processing. He's like, am I being insulted right
It's
now,
like,
bro?
wait, we're talking about the Joker right now?
Wait, I'm not at home.
Nah, I respect both of your views. To me, it's still a great movie. Like, I can see the fault Victor's talking about. Jolin's, I kind of see it, but I mean, you kind of need it there to establish that, it's still Bruce Wayne and whatnot. But I do see, like, Victor's, like, the whole mask.
Just a little note, sorry. I think what Jolin is saying, I think, is that the execution of that scene wasn't as well thought out as it should have been. You get me?
Okay.
Like,
No,
like,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Sorry.
it looks
I'm
kind of just
waiting to see
dropped
where it
in.
goes with
no,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's
But
why.
I
Yeah.
mean-
Well, because I mean, like, even because you know how you said that he only did it because he wanted the pearls, right?
Yeah.
Even after, so the way that it plays out, scene
No,
by
I
scene, is
remember.
he comes in,
he kills
he
them,
just,
and
like,
then he
kills
at
him,
the
and then he
end-
grabs him and then kills the mom.
No.
He doesn't like try to get the pearls from the mom
Yeah.
first or anything. So
Yeah.
it's just like, that's why I think it was such an afterthought or like such a second, just whatever, because of the way that it's executed. Like, if they did it better, then sure, it would have been fine. I still probably personally wouldn't have wanted the scene because it's like Joker's origin, not so much like Joker coming to power and then establishing it's
Yeah.
Batman's origin. Like, it should be focused on him.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I totally understand it, but the reason I like it is because it's very minute compared to the whole scene where it's like they're coming out the theater. The last movie they're watching right there is the Zorro movie, which is exactly how it happens in the comics.
Yeah.
And that, to me, overshadows the whole Joe Chill and whatnot. But I totally see.
So the
I do.
accuracy of the scene.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like,
Because it's
Alright.
like he killed his parents and he still left them. But I do
Yeah,
understand. I do
fair enough.
understand.
honestly, by going through what you're saying, it honestly, like, if anything, you can't take fault it for it,
Yeah.
because it is a new Joker. It is another different universe. So if anything, the fact that they got it so accurately would only add to the fact of, like, this new Batman, different universe, that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, I agree.
So,
I understand.
That's why I said, like, I totally understand what you're talking about. That it does seem like it, like, right there. Because even I wasn't expecting that. I'm like,
Ah, okay.
there's all this chaos going on. It's just gonna be this, and then boom, it switches up to.
And we were strangling, bro. I was sitting next to him. He was like, I was like, what, bro?
Oh my god.
They were showing those, right?
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was like,
What? He's like, bro, that's the last movie he saw. This
and then,
oh,
yeah.
this dude was fangirling, bro.
Nah, that shit is just dope ass movie.
Just like hard nipples and everything. It was like, oh my god.
If we weren't in the theater, I would have screamed. But
Yeah, bro.
what
Yeah.
about you?
I thought it was a great movie, bro. I mean, I don't read the comics. I mean, overall, I thought it was good. And then seeing the Joker, I mean, seeing like the past Jokers, I was like, one of the main things that I focus on is the laugh, because not everyone could put up like a good
Yeah.
Joker
Yeah.
laugh, bro. So when he did it, bro, I was like, yo, props to this dude, bro. Though he acted.
Oh, you guys should hear his mock slap.
Oh, you can mimic
He
it?
can kind of imitate the.
Yeah, it's pretty close actually.
Yo, I
Wait,
wanna
is
hear
it a
that.
good? Is it a good Joker laugh or is it a good like mimic of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker?
Oh, yeah.
Joaquin.
Yeah,
Joaquin?
Joaquin.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
like when he's walking down the hallway after he gets fired,
Yeah, and
like
then
that little laugh where he just like stops
Oh,
it.
okay,
like,
yeah,
he
yeah,
shuts
just
down.
cuts
yeah.
out.
Trust me.
Yeah, but overall, I thought it was a great movie, bro.
Can we get a little
10 out of
taste?
10,
I know.
bro.
Mm-hmm.
I do the laugh and then give your overview of the movie,
Yeah.
bro.
I'm sick. I can't.
Ah.
Hey,
I get shy. I don't know if it.
All right, everybody shut up.
So there you go.
Dang it. What?
No pressure. No pressure.
I'm shy. I'm
Stage
shy.
right.
How's it go? How's it go? No. No.
Oh, that was pretty good. You can hear it?
good.
No, yeah, you
Good,
can
good.
hear it going there.
Yeah, I'm giving my review, and then while you guys talk, I'm gonna hear it over, and then I'll do it. But any last things you wanted to,
Nah, man, I
say?
just thought it was great. I thought it was a
All
great
right.
ass movie.
Where do I start, my friends? I hate this movie. I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
No, he's
Alright,
serious.
I'm walking
Zero out
out.
of 10. 0 out of 10?
Zero. No, I think. I kind of discussed with him a little bit, but me personally, I know there have been a lot of reviews or comments saying that it borrows a lot, or it's inspired a lot from. It takes a lot from like whether it's Taxi Driver or King of Comedy, which if you've seen those movies, you can see what they mean. But it's not like Todd Phillips, the director, took from trash movies like classics.
Yeah, I mean, Taxi Driver won awards for it, no?
Yeah, so it's like it's not like, oh, I'm gonna take from Paul Blart Mall Cop, which it's an enjoyable movie, but it's not exactly
I'm not throwing it under the bus.
I mean, I'm not gonna necessarily borrow from it, but I personally think it was a masterpiece in the sense that. Because the thing is, a lot of people, I'm including myself, were kind of worried when they mentioned a Joker origin type of movie. Because you're kind of like, Warner Brothers, I mean, I guess you guys are going to do something. It's like, with their track record, especially with DC-related content, it's like, they've had some misses, they've had some hits.
They've been on the edge right there. They've been walking that tightrope.
Yeah, so it's a fine line, and you're kind of worried, especially when it comes to great characters, mainly from the Batman universe. It's like, do we want to touch, and especially a character like the Joker, and especially after the last performance we've had of him from Heath Ledger, who set the standard, like just it's up there. But with this one, it's like it exceeded my expectations. Oh, really, I had no expectations, but I just wanted to at least enjoy myself. Well, I mean, they saw me. I left the theater just like in awe.
In tears.
When I was fangirling, so was Lewis.
I was like, it's gonna happen.
Oh, shout out to John because he went to.
Oh yeah, shout out to Johnny. Yeah, he went.
Really? Yeah, he knew about Batman too. He's like,
nice.
Yeah, because I'm like, why? Cause especially the scene, and actually, I'm gonna kind of state what I think about that scene. When they kind of pan over when it says El Zorro or the Zorro, and then it kind of pans, I'm like, wait, what's so significant? Why are they slow panning over that? And then Johnny's like, this is when he kills parents. I was like, that's right. In the comics, I'm like, oh, it's the last movie they saw. I'm like, ah.
Funny enough, though, speaking of that, the pan, I realized that the pan is not actually in that scene. Like, sure, they gloss over it, but they focus mainly on the fact that they're leaving the theater.
Okay,
the pan is actually before that scene. Yeah. It's like 3/4 into the movie, and that's why I was also curious too. I was like, why does that sound so familiar?
Yeah,
like,
kind of like, wait, what?
Yeah,
that's good. So when Johnny was like, elbowing, like, oh my gosh, that's right. So they're connecting and whatnot, right? So I do get what you guys are saying, but I guess from my perspective, I think. If anything, it enhanced the movie for me.
Alright.
Only because it just shows... Because in the comics, or just in general in the universe, Batman and Joker almost like the same figure. Or the two faces on the same coin. Mm-hmm. It's like... It's really a line that keeps them separate from intertwining into each other's mindsets or worlds. Because at the end of the day, like, I think... I just had a brain fart. Because there was a quote that somebody said, but... I don't want to take one. but the thing is, it just, for me, I enjoyed it much more because it just shows that regardless of whatever universe they're in or whatever dimension they're in, the Joker and Batman are always connected.
True.
And although like the whole idea of like, oh, it's just a man, right? I can take him on, judging him as a bad and whatnot. I like that. I mean, there have been talks of like maybe a sequel. Joaquin Phoenix is kind of Todd Phillips, even though they said it's so standoff, just one solo. The way it's been received, if the studios see it, they're gonna kind of push for it. But I mean, so it'd be cool to see kind of like, because I doubt we're gonna get an instant Batman. Oh, here he is. If anything, we might see Bruce kind of grow into that character, just the mindset of like, not necessarily I want revenge for my parents, but rather like
the angsty teenager.
Yeah, the angsty teenager. Who am I? Who do I need to become? To stop people like that, because the Joker, cause I'm sure you guys heard the critiques and all that, like, oh, it promotes violence, this and that. Okay, first off, it's the Joker. What did you expect? Him to tickle everybody? Like he's a clown prince of crime. Like he kills.
That's just creepy.
Yeah. So but that'd be worse. Like what?
That's like gives off rapey vibes.
But so it's one thing. It's like, oh come on, guys. Like it's the Joker, but if anything, it's a character study. Because I've read some people are like, oh, it's another movie about a white guy who's going through hard times. So I'm like, It's the character. We're studying Arthur transforming and crossing over. Because at first we have somebody who's mentally ill and whose life, let's admit, just sucks. From child to adult. It's been lie, smack after just life hit just after another, right?
He's never been happy.
Yeah, so but we're observing and I don't know if you guys noticed, but for me the movie went kind of slow.
In the beginning,
but I like that because it's a progression.
It's character development.
Yeah, it's development. So that when he finally crosses over, Arthur Fleck is dead.
Yeah, like it's
Joker's here.
Yeah.
And what we have is not just somebody who's mentally ill and unstable, rather somebody who's mentally ill but sociopath who is also, because Joker's not a dumb guy. He's not a dumb villain. He's a criminal mastermind.
I mean, if anything, did Bruce say that he was like the genius of all of them? Because he's so insane that it.
He says that Joker's insanity is what makes him even smarter than anybody's ever met, because not only is he like at genius level that maybe rivals his own, but the fact that he adds chaos into the mix to anything he thinks about is what throws even his own thought process out of whack.
So you wouldn't expect it because not even he expects it.
Yep. Exactly.
And boom.
Yeah, so I mean that's the thing. That's why I guess I enjoy this movie so much, because I mean the things you do feel bad for Arthur in the beginning. You're like, damn man, like life just sucks. But then it gives you enough to realize, oh wait, this is the Joker. Like, because you feel bad for Arthur Fleck, but for the Joker, you're like, you're crazy. Yeah, you're a murderer. Like, I don't know if I should root for you, because I'm like, I told them. I mean, it's cheesy and corny, but I teared up in the scene. Spoilers, when he's on top of the car and he just has his arms open and everybody's cheering him on.
Like a hero.
No, but it's like, but more because of just the moment. Like, this is who he is. He's a showman. He loves like attention. Like, he loves challenging the best. Like that. This is we have the Joker. This is who he is.
He's finally reached that insanity level that has been approved by everybody throughout like, the chaos that has been caused.
And then with that comes his confidence, his swagger, his walk, his
laugh.
Yeah, his laugh. It's like, oh, come on, dude. And speaking of his laugh, I think, I'm not sure if this is director or Joaquin's choice to do it.
I don't know if you guys saw this.
But the fact that you can see when he laughs, it's almost
it hurts him.
It hurts him, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, this is what you want. So that when he changes, if I don't know if you know,
he kind of accepts it.
Yeah, it's gone. He just laughs, and it's like, it's like the little things in this movie that just sparked it up. I mean, along with that, I like the griminess of Gotham, because that's what Gotham is. At least during a long chunk of time before Batman was there, a grimy, crime-ridden city with people rising up, angry at the one percenters. Yep. So I love that they showed all that that aspect of Gotham, because if anything in this movie, Gotham felt like another character. Yeah, like it added to the oppression of Arthur, of the people.
Yeah, the whole subway.
Yeah, the whole subway. Oh my gosh!
I mean, considering that the first scene you see is like Arthur getting like bullied by the very citizens of Gotham.
So I'm like, I mean, and also if you think of like the technical, like cinematography and all that, and that, I mean, it's a beautiful movie. It's a beautiful film as it is. Like, it's great. Because I mean, if you were to take the Joker out of it, it's fine as it is. Now it's a character study, but with the Joker, it just adds some salt into it. You're like,
Funny enough, like the only negative reviews I've ever seen of this movie are from people that like don't understand who the Joker really is.
Yes.
Like, sure, they might have heard of him through like comics or TV or something like that, like maybe social media, but like they don't really know what type of a character he is.
Yeah, like who he is.
Yeah, like who he truly is. And those are the people that are like, no, the movie is like boring. It's just another white guy that's struggling through mental illness. And it's like, you don't really understand who he is.
It's like, it's the Joker, one of the greatest comic book villains of all time. That's what I say. That's what you say to them when you see him.
So you just shake him. Why don't you understand?
I get why they like him now. But
like what? Just come on, bro.
But I mean, that's kind of what I have off the top of my head. I mean, were there moments that kind of like, did you have favorite moments within the movie, or kind of okay,
hell yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah. Good song.
Do you, Joel?
I gotta think about it.
All right, Victor.
So I had one right now.
Sorry, I know. I didn't realize you were directing the question at me. I thought you were talking to them, and I was like, I'm just here.
What was your question?
Like he's miles away.
I know.
You're not. It's so good, dude.
I forgot the scene. Like, you guys go first. I'm I'm like, I have to think about it.
The midget scene when
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's my favorite scene.
Oh my goodness.
The reason I like it is because that's when you're already seeing him transitioning little by little. Because he flat out just kills the dude that gives him the gun.
Yeah.
Who just snitched him out. Like, yo, come on. And no warning, he just shanks him right in the neck. And the midget dude, he's like, yo, what the fuck? Like, he's not doing anything, but he's like, yo, what are you doing, Arthur? This and this. And then you just see how crazy he's going because he's like, oh, I'm not going to do anything. You could go. Door, like, because you can't reach because he's a midget. So then Arthur gets up.
It's little people, Edward.
Yeah, it's little people.
Wow.
Whatever.
Come on, Edward.
Sue me.
PC.
Damn, they're gonna shut the channel down, man. Yeah.
Demonetization coming. Jeez.
It's a joke. Point is, Arthur goes and opens the door for him, and then he just kisses him. He's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna do anything because you're the only nice person, the only person that's been nice to me."
Yeah.
That's so crazy, man.
Who does that besides somebody that's crazy? You know, somebody that's already
sociopath. Yeah.
going over the edge.
So life lesson, kids. Always be nice to everybody.
Yeah. You never know.
Just be nice, man.
You never know. But yeah, that's my favorite scene. That
All right, fair enough.
Now, anybody?
That was mine. That one, and when we find out that the whole him having a little romance with the girl was just
Oh man.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's actually part of mine too.
Yeah, dude. I was like, oh shit. I was rooting for him and that girl, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, he got a girl, like,
Especially,
good, bro.
especially since he had that confidence to like go right away and start kissing
bro.
her.
And then she's like, what are you doing here? I was like, what do you mean, bro? That's your
that's your boo right there. What you talking about?
a little flashback of her not being there. I was like, oh shit.
Even
That was
John
cool.
was like, wait, I guess that's how you get girls, dude. Stalk him, just run up and kiss him. Like, I
Yeah,
guess.
that shit threw me out, bro. That's one of my favorite scenes right there too. That shit was cool.
Alright.
So my favorite scene. Oh yeah, have you thought about it?
Oh, I mean,
Like I could go. No, I could go last. Like
All
it's
right,
cool.
fine. I was just gonna say like the subway scene where he kills the three people who work at Gotham.
Bro.
Like, it's a good scene in general, but it shows the transformation or like him dipping his toes into becoming the Joker, because you can tell in the beginning, like when those three guys are like hounding the girl, he wants to intervene. He wants to like step up and be a better guy, but even the girl gives him that look like either don't step in, I can handle it, or just like I'm not having it.
Oh.
And then because he like has that disorder where he laughs in inappropriate times, they start to pick on him, and the girl just dips. But it shows that like he has restraint. He wants to be a better person than the fucking position that life is putting him in. But ultimately, like, he's had enough, and that's why he decides to just shoot the people. He doesn't shoot them in the beginning, it's self-defense with the first guy. After that point, it's like he crosses the point of no return, or he jumps into the abyss, like full on, kills the second guy, hunts the third guy. And then after that, the rest of the movie, he has no remorse for it whatsoever. So it's like that transformation of him turning into, or like starting to reveal the Joker underneath.
Yeah, he been dancing to the restroom right after.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That scene.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So that whole scene, it's like, it's beautiful.
Especially considering that there was like two scenes or one scene previously where he got beat up.
Two.
Like so the beginning scene, right? With the,
with
kids,
the kids,
the signs, and then did he get beat up again?
With just at the subway.
Yeah,
That's
that's
when
the
he
subway,
fills out
right?
the
Yeah.
He shoots
They're
him.
kicking him.
That's the like turning point where he's like, I've had it. I'm not gonna get beat up anymore.
So
that's a good one.
what's yours?
So my favorite scene is more of like a concept, but it is like a scene. It is the scene where it's
Always gotta
when
step it up, huh?
when he like dresses up as the Joker. You know what I mean? Because the premises of the Joker, like the mindset is, with just one bad day, anybody could be thrown into insanity. You know what I mean? So that scene where he's like dressing up as the Joker at the show, where he's like, where he wrote in the mirror, like always be smiling and stuff.
Yeah.
That scene shows how long, like all the stuff he's gone through has finally pushed him over the edge, and he's actually like not only embracing the Joker, but he's like, there is nobody else but the Joker. And it's like I've already had my bad day, and I've already accepted insanity. So it's like no going back. Like this is me. And then considering that that's the scene where he thinks about killing the host. Spoilers.
Spoilers. I mean,
this whole thing is spoilers.
Robert De Niro.
Yeah. So
People die in the movie.
He kills his
wink,
mom,
wink,
bro.
nudge, nudge.
Oh, that's
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh,
You know.
I mean, she.
Yeah,
She sucks, bro. She deserves to die.
Yeah, mom, whatever. You know that girl.
Yeah.
That lady. Yeah, that lady.
That wasn't that much of a big scene. It wasn't his mom, bro.
No, but that really hit me though. The fact that like she never she never went to his aid because she never heard him crying.
Yeah, bro.
Because like he
Oh,
always
yeah, 'cause
laughed.
he was always laughing.
Yeah, because every time something bad happened, he just started laughing. So that
Yeah.
hit me hard. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, this guy never. That's why it fucked him up so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing about this. And I'll go into my favorite scene now, but that's the thing. Like I've heard, again, like reviews, like, oh, this is like this and that. Like, what's the message behind this? Pointless violence. Like, think about it. First, you see how the government screws him over. They take away funding for what he needs, his medicine and his visits,
medicine,
which may be the only thing that's keeping him sane at that point. Even if it's not working, it's something. They take that. So that's one. Two, this whole thing about like him chained to a radiator, that's like a real thing in real life cases. Like you hear like two children found locked or chained to a radiator. Like these are real aspects of like that people like listen, people just want headlines, dude. And this is whatever like
White people, man.
they, and whatever they can get, it's like, okay, like we're gonna take that and run with it.
Yeah.
Like watch the movie, understand the character, and if anything, kind of, if at least this is how I took it, it kind of points the finger at everybody, saying like, look, because we're so complacent, we're the real monsters who create who we think, oh, this is the main bad guy, the main monster, right? In reality, we're the ones who did it. We created this guy.
Yeah, I love that he states that in the show.
Yes.
He's like, yo, I'm literally like right there needing help, and you guys just step over me
Like his knock knock
Oh
joke.
my gosh.
His knock knock joke at the end before he kills the host.
Yes.
He's like, what do you get when you have a mentally ill person and you put him in a city that doesn't give two shits about him?
Oh man.
And that's what you get. You get the
Yeah.
Joker. You know.
That's so great, because again, it's like he's just addressing like, yo, we need to help each other out, but people don't take it that way. They're just like, oh, this guy's just crazy, blah blah blah. Hey, good point, Louis.
No, yeah, but to go to my favorite scene, I'm gonna go deep, so you know why. Mystics.
And we're back with another.
Another-
It was at nighttime with Lewis.
But no, it's again, it's like, just watch the movie. Go in with an open, enjoy that. If you don't like the context of it, enjoy the artistry. It's a beautiful film. But I mean, but to go into my favorite scene, I mean, that whole. Yeah, no. But to go, I know. But to go, I would say.
What are you talking about right now? Your favorite scene? Right?
Yeah, favorite scene.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh no, but remember
scene.
this also scene. I just
But-
oh
yeah,
yeah.
Well, back to my favorite scene.
Yeah,
Oh, and
yeah,
then
go
the
back.
three.
Well, I kind of have two.
Oh,
The first one is his interaction with the guy who doesn't give him the files.
Oh, okay.
This,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so the funny, or not the funniest part, the thing that caught my attention was, okay, again, like it's progression, right? But when they're fighting with the files, right? And you would think, okay, so anyone else would be like, they try to hurt the other guy. Joker, knowing his crazy stuff, he bangs his head against a chain, knowing that whatever he does is gonna shock the person into giving him what he wants. I mean, and that's part of the Joker's MO, where it's like, I'm just gonna be so crazy that people are afraid of me, and it's like,
yeah, like they don't expect it.
yeah, they don't expect it. Like, bang! I was like, oh, all right, I like that.
Yeah.
But that whole sequence and the whole talk show sequence, oh, I thought it was great. For me, I mean, I know it's the ending, it's the climax of it, but it's like, oh, like the whole knock knock joke. There's one line that he says, I don't know, I think it is the one where he says, like, oh, he says something like, oh, if they die, everybody goes to their aid, but if that's me on the street, you guys will just step over me.
Yeah.
Like the 1%.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, that's.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
What message are you getting from this movie? Like, what are you talking about? Like,
One artist dies and they dedicate like a whole day of news broadcast. But what about the rainforest that was on fire or whatever? Like,
Or what about the homeless people that you see on the streets every day? You just literally walk over them or try to ignore them, pretend like they don't exist.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, to think that a comic book movie, right? Like,
which
again,
is for children apparently.
yeah, so it's like, for some people, it's like, it's a comic movie. Like, look into it, you'll get so much more than half of the movies that come out this year. But yeah, that whole, I mean, I think Robert De Niro, I mean, his part isn't that big, but every single time he was there, you're like, I hate you. Oh, like, you just, oh, man. But I mean, that just shows what a job he did, in the sense of, like, I want to like him.
His part is more important. Robert De Niro's part is more important than that, because him, like, as the nighttime talk show, kind of shows like what Arthur wants to be.
Yeah,
exactly.
But then
it's
like,
his idol.
He literally like kills his dreams
Yeah.
to become the Joker because of what happened to him.
Surpassing that threshold to true insanity.
Look at you, Threshold.
Dichotomy.
Oh shit!
Rambunctious.
Onomatopoeia.
Like this. But no, but yeah, I guess to conclude, I was saying just that whole sequence, and then when I don't know if you guys know, but to me it was creepy. I mean, and I loved it when he goes up to the camera. And he's like, "That's life." Oh, and they cut it off right before it finishes that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, but then
like a Looney Tunes kind of thing.
Yeah,
like, that's it.
But it pans out and it shows you the TV screens, and you're like, "Yes, this is what you want."
I mean, he finally got his dream by doing that. Not only did he kill his idol, but he also got the dream of doing the show himself, or at least doing the cutaway himself.
He took control of that show. Like, oh man. Well, thank you guys for watching.
That's gonna be it.
That's it. No, but it's. I mean, overall, would you guys watch it again?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, I've been wanting to watch it again, but
No, it's one of those movies that's like. Well, alrighty then. No, but it's because I've seen people, and I could say how some people are like, oh, it's one of those where you can only watch once because it. I guess in some aspects it does make you. I guess I could say how it makes people uncomfortable, but overall, like if you know the character, if you kind of, you don't even have to be an expert on the comics, but if you kind of have an idea, it's like okay, yeah. And the thing is, I think one of the main fears too was the like what can he do with the character after? I mean, we saw what Jared Leto tried to do. Didn't work out that well. But, I mean, yeah. But it's like Heath Ledger is like he set the standard like. Because you have the guy from 10 Things I Hate About You, romantic comedy, lover boy, right? To crazy clown, scarred and just able to just creating chaos. And you're like, okay, this is great. And unfortunately, he passed away, but he left a stand. I mean, he won an Oscar, a posthumous Oscar, right? So it kind of worried me, like, what can Joaquin do with this, right? But I mean, I'm like, he's a great actor, anyways, great role. But I mean. I love that he didn't try to emulate. Like you could see how he didn't try to like imitate or emulate something that was already there.
Yeah.
But what he took is he took something and made it his own.
Yeah.
Like you'll be able to say, oh yeah, I remember when Joaquin did his Joker and Heath Ledger did his Joker and Jack. Like you can separate them. Yeah. So it's. I mean, I guess.
If anything, it shows Joaquin's expertise as an actor, considering that like Heath Ledger had the chance to show a Joker that was already experienced. He already knew, like he was already beyond crazy. He was just his main goal was insanity and chaos.
True, you're right. So yeah. He was already there.
Batman already was a thing. All these other villains were a thing, like Riddler and Scarecrow and all that stuff. But Joaquin Phoenix's role was more complex. Where it's just like he had to build up to it because it was an origin story. He couldn't just show insanity right away. He had to like act like a normal human being or try to restrain everything, but just like show little hints of like the problems he has until he finally fully unleashed the insanity of the Joker.
And it's funny, because essentially Joaquin now had the task of having to illustrate for us, the audience, his whole transformation.
Yeah,
his whole origin from Arthur to Joker, right? And I think. As much as we do like Heath's Joker, it's classic. It's a classic performance. I feel like this was another challenge to that. I think it elevated it to another because you went from that to that in the span of 2 hours. I'm sure obviously months and months of working, but to have it cut it and work in a matter of 2 hours is like, dude.
Just compare Joaquin's performance to what's his freaking face? What's his name? The dude that came on Suicide Squad. That Joker.
About that, dude.
That Joker. I mean, compare that. Like he tried so hard. He even became a method actor. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can see what they're going for, like the punk rock, but it's just.
It's not the Joker that we love. Or the one that we wanted.
Or at least if you're trying to do something different, then go all the way with it. But it's just.
Driving Lambos.
Yeah. And then the second thing was it was 5 minutes worth of screen time that he had.
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey yo, cut." I love you, Harley. Cut. I'm like, come on. But
I think the worst part about that Joker, just like a little side note, I think it's because he didn't feel like a real Joker, considering that he was too focused on like money guns, weapons. Like he drove around the Lambo. He had that grill. He had tattoos. Like that's not the Joker. Joker's insanity, chaos. You know, he just wants to fuck shit up, watch the world burn just cause. You know, because he can. Because he knows that deep down, that's what everybody wants. So it's, you get me?
Okay,
But,
yeah,
so that's
got
why
you.
like that Joker didn't feel like a real Joker, whereas Joaquin Phoenix did a great job showing that.
Yeah, and the things you could feel his pain too, man.
Yeah.
You could feel like, and the dancing scene after he kills the three guys.
Mhm.
I personally love that scene because you just see him like, it's almost like he's dancing to like to death in that sense, to the rhythm. Whose phone is that?
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding.
Jolin.
No.
He starts sweating and crying.
Just
what?
Jolin? What? How could you?
Be like, Bruce, lock the door. Edward, close the windows. Like, what? But
And go get the lube.
Oh my god.
whoa, man, down.
Different direction.
Oh, we don't do that here? Oh, all right.
God, we don't do that. We don't even do that on our own show.
What? Jolin?
I don't know what's wrong with you.
But I mean, I guess to move forward,
Just me?
I have two sets of questions.
No.
Excluding Edward because he's about to
Okay.
travel to outer space.
Oh,
A, I
Jolin.
know, right? A, yes. Second, 42.
There we go.
what?
It's sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to this is start this whole show over again. But I was gonna ask, one is if they did a sequel, you don't have to go into great detail. What would be your detail? What would be your overall plot for that sequel? And then second, how would you rank your Jokers? So, and the Jokers are Joaquin Phoenix's, Heath Ledger's, we'll include Jared Leto's, and
That's his name.
we'll include Jack Nicholson's. I won't include I think his name's Cesar Romero because I don't know how many of you guys have seen like the 1960s Joker. I mean the Batman.
Been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Been
What
a
about
minute.
Adam West? The best
the
Batman.
Batman.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
We're
No, that's
talking
not-
about Joker, son.
I know, but that's the same movie that he came out in?
Show.
the
Oh,
show.
was it a show?
Yeah, it was a show.
Yeah,
Oh,
see,
they
that
did do
just-
a movie.
That just shows how little I know about that. I read. That's not.
I mean, if you're going by like, if you're including shows, what about the Gotham where they had that season of that?
You know what?
I mean, he's there too,
True.
What about Batman Beyond? The animated.
I know. Now we gotta
series?
go to anime.
He literally said the forest.
I know. All right.
Yeah.
We'll do the
Let's
four.
go with
So we'll
those.
do the
Yeah.
four.
All right.
So I mean, who wants to go ahead? Who wants to go first?
We're starting with Joel. So
Yeah.
All right. Fine. Wait. What was question one?
Then-
Oh, it's a plot. Second sequel.
Well,
Sequel.
first-
No, yeah, he was a
Oh,
two part
yeah,
question. Yeah.
yeah.
Sequel. So
Shit,
because I
tell me.
don't read the comics. I don't really
Yeah,
know
I mean-
much.
I mean,
Well,
go
from the
with it,
movie.
dude. Whatever
Just
you
from the
want,
movie.
man.
Just
It's
from the
all-
movie.
Use that brain power.
I mean, I guess as a sequel, I kind of just want to see like where he goes from here, because like the little knowledge that I have is that, well, from the comics is like Joker spent some time in the Arkham Asylum, and then that's where he starts to like plot and things get out of hand. If he recruits like Harley Quinn there, which I don't want to see a Harley Quinn in the sequel.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
All right. That's your
I'd
sequel?
still want it to like focus on him. Maybe like it's a sequel where Gotham's starting to fight back against the riots. Like maybe he's not getting enough, or he's starting to lose supporters, and he has to like figure out a way to just instill more chaos. And he like ultimately hits a low, but then something happens. Maybe some kind of outside influence or some like weird influence.
Yeah.
And then he just it just keeps going from there. And then as for like the list of Jokers, I think I don't have enough. Like I haven't seen Jack Nicholson as Joker.
Mm.
Edward, you know this, okay? God,
He doesn't.
I don't really watch
Blu-ray
movies.
player.
It's based off your experience and your knowledge.
Yeah. So
Again.
in order, number one, I still have to put like Heath Ledger,
Mm,
but
okay.
Joaquin Phoenix is like a
It's a
close
close-
second. It's
close
like really
one.
hard to decide, but it's just like I'm still so used to Heath Ledger as Joker.
It's a laugh away from first.
Yeah. Then third is Then third is Jack Nicholson and Jared Leto's like. Nah. And the thing that no, because the thing that's weird to me is like there was so much talk and hype as Suicide Squad was coming out, where like
Yeah.
Will Smith and everyone else was saying like, dude, he's getting weird, like he's sending us shit in the mail, and like he's really trying to like
Yeah.
become this
Method
role.
and-
Method
Yeah.
actor.
And like maybe it's because he wasn't the star of Suicide Squad. He only had like 10 minutes of time, or maybe because like the whole movie was more focused on Will Smith as Deathstroke.
It really was, yeah.
But that's a talk for another
Yeah, it's
time.
another whole conversation.
Yeah. So it's my list.
All right.
All right, cool. And who wants to go? Victor? I guess I'm gonna go.
No one else is here.
All right. So I guess my sequel would be very different, considering that I personally believe it's a different universe.
All right.
You know,
Okay,
like
yeah,
it's not the
yeah.
universe that we come to know of from the Joker
Go
and
for
the
it.
Batman. The sequel I definitely would like to see would be one where Batman is still not Batman. He's still not he's still like an angsty teenager. He's still young.
Yeah.
He hasn't even gone to like Ra's al Ghul to learn how to fight yet.
Mhm.
And
He's
the
still
League
living
of
in Gotham
Assassins.
with like Alfred, and he's still dealing with like his parents dying and stuff like that. He barely started like talking to Commissioner Gordon or like knowing who he was, considering that he's like part of the richest family in Gotham. But the Joker either is still in Arkham Asylum or he'll escape in that movie and cause more mayhem, but he won't be part of the mayhem. Like he'll recruit people, criminals, thugs, people that like you supported him at the end of this movie,
Mhm.
and cause them to go and create mayhem in the city. And of course, the media will clearly like devote all that mayhem to Joker himself, but he won't be part of it. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's what Joker would do. He would just like
Mhm.
watch at the sidelines. He'll be part of it, but only like if he sees a real reason to be in there.
Mhm.
Other than that, he would just want to see the city like in chaos. He just
Burn,
wants
yeah.
to see, like he just wants to see like the hierarchy destroyed. And then I feel like maybe the movie would end with Joker getting caught again, and you see like Bruce going away to fight, to learn how
getting
to
on a
fight.
plane, yeah.
So that way, maybe the
She had
third
his ticket,
movie,
yeah, what is
it would be like the
destination?
intro to Batman. Yeah, and that's when they learn.
Ooh.
In the third one, that's when they'll learn that they're one for each other. You know what I mean? That they're like two sides of the same coin.
Just yin and yang.
Yeah. As for my Jokers, it's pretty much the same as Jolin's. Like Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix is a close second. Mainly just because Heath Ledger did such a good job portraying a Joker that's already like
Already at the top.
deep,
Yeah.
and then
Mhm.
being able to fight Batman. He did
Yeah.
such a great job. With
Oh
that.
yeah, true.
And Joaquin Phoenix is a close second just because he had to portray mental illness very well, but it's still in the beginning, so we don't know how well of a Joker he would be further into his career.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But then it would be Jack Nicholson and then Jared Leto. Definitely.
Come
It's
on,
gonna be everyone's list.
my boy
Yeah.
Jared. Give some love.
You better put him number one.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Number one
But you gotta back it up why.
Because I got these tattoos,
I
baby.
know. He's like, there's something I gotta confess to you guys. He takes out a
Everyone-
box and he has grills. He's just like,
He's like, let's get this started.
Oh
I hated that Halloween because all the couples just went.
Oh, Harley.
Harley and Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come
it's
on.
always like that, man.
But who wants to go? Who wants to go next?
It's like,
Go,
Yeah,
Bruce.
Rid of Bruce. Oh.
What?
Cobra.
Like you weren't ready for that? Just
No, I'll go. So I think my sequel would take off like a couple months after where this one went off.
Oh, like a prequel? Like a prequel sequel?
no.
No, it's months after.
Oh, I heard take off month. Sorry, I thought.
No,
like,
like,
no,
so-
like yeah, I was like, you're starting earlier. Like Jesus.
So
Okay.
it's gonna be after, like a couple months after. And it's basically him kind of recruiting his his minions, because every Joker has his minions. So it's him recruiting his minions while Bruce is already kind of developing his own Batman thing. And then throughout the thing, you just see Joker become even more. You see Bruce finally, like at the end, like he did all the shit. And then literally like the last 20 minutes is them doing the whole thing of just from the comics, where the first time they kind of introduced themselves was when the Joker was trying to poison the water supply to Gotham, but this time it's gonna be in Joker's point of view. So it's gonna be him like brainstorming how he got to that point,
Okay.
how he's seeing like this random dude dressed as a bat coming and disrupting everything that he's planned for. He's like, okay, what's my next move? Because he's always thinking ahead, right?
Mhm.
So that's what I would do as my second movie. Like
It's
that would just be perfect.
It's like Joker's getting his minions and making the chemicals, and Bruce is like digging the Batcave.
Yeah. Like, you
It's in the backyard, just digging.
know, Pennywise gonna be like, what are you doing? But yeah, like that'd be my sequel to it. Like
Yeah.
that'd be so dope. And then for my list, I mean, there's only 3 really. So there's only Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix, and Jack Nicholson.
But Jared Leto, man.
Hey man, Jack.
Jared Leto. That Lambo, though.
I mean-
Come on, man.
I mean, he's not really fourth. He's like honorable mention.
Dishonorable.
Yeah, but yeah. Go
All
on.
right, what about you, bud?
My list is the same as everybody, so
Okay.
I'm just gonna say it in the
Yeah.
beginning.
Let's get out of the way.
Wow,
Yeah, just get out the way, bro. I don't want to say the names. Fucking.
I don't remember the names. So.
Nah, for the sequel, I would take it from. You've seen Gotham City, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys know?
Well, I
I saw like the first episode.
stopped kind of
Gotham.
Gotham.
Oh, Gotham. the
Yeah,
show.
it's just Gotham.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just Gotham?
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen Gotham? No, you said it.
Yeah.
I was like, you said
Every time the title sequence comes, you just skip it. This whole time, oh, it's Gotham City.
It's
Right?
Gotham City.
Oh,
That's right.
no.
No, I've seen it.
Yeah, okay, well,
Okay.
the newest episode point is I would take it how they did it, but just the movie version.
Oh, okay.
Because
yeah.
in their new season, I don't know if you guys are gonna watch it. If you guys did, I'm
No.
sorry.
No, it's
Who knows?
cool.
I stopped like a lot.
Yeah.
Spoilers for Gotham. Just a heads up.
Yeah, and in their new season, it's Joker takes over the city type thing. Like he
Oh,
burns the
okay.
bridges, he cuts off the island from like everyone
Yeah.
else, and just the few people that are left in the city and are mostly the people from Arkham.
No, I was gonna say the game was based off that. No, Joker taking
Yeah,
like, Arkham
Arkham-
Island. What do
yeah.
you call it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arkham City.
Arkham City. There you
Arkham
go.
City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I would still have also Bruce still like a teenager, so he's not he's trying to fight, but he's not there yet. You know, he's not
Yeah.
Batman. And then Joker, well, I mean,
So, like,
it's
they
his
get
city, bro.
Yeah.
Huh? And how they introduce
He says a good job. Interrupting me.
and then I like how they introduce like the characters. Like they introduce Bane, Killer Croc.
True, yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh,
but there was
Scarecrow.
just like little glimpses of like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Hints,
Yeah.
like a name drop. or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. So I would want a movie version of that and see how they would work that in there.
Especially
That's
considering that would be a good one, considering that Bruce, being the richest guy in Gotham, would see the mayhem and would want to do something about
Yeah.
it, but he can't yet.
Yeah.
So that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I would
I would
want
enjoy that.
What about you, Mark?
See, what I would do is I'll just do my sequel would be a whole crossover, bring Jared Leto in, make him buddies, with Nazi- bring him on with the grills and
Yeah,
everything.
we
yeah.
already know who's good guy in first.
Shit, I was
Time
gonna say,
travel
they just-
Joker.
They just punk on him.
It's about, hey, what's up?
Make him go
Bring
get
it
the
into
soda.
the Joker verse.
They're all just chilling at the table. He's like, yeah, go get it. Come on. But I was thinking of the same approach, kind of like I would have it sometime after the aftermath of what happened. I would still like to explore the whole political aspect of it, the aftermath of the Waynes being murdered, right, and then the son being just essentially the sole what would you say heir to the throne, right? Kind of follow him through in his development. I know I saw a YouTube movie reviewer and kind of like movie news and stuff. She brought up how it would be kind of crazy to, because essentially this is that's like start your own universe, right? That's what I would like to take that approach, is just starting a whole different universe,
Yeah.
kind of like what Christopher Nolan was doing, how he kind of created this whole like dark and grimy Gotham, and you had the villains come in, this and that. So I guess I would take the same approach, but she mentioned how she would bring in Lex Luthor into the picture, and knowing how he's also a big CEO guy,
Yeah.
how he would kind of somehow have some not relation but rather connection to the Waynes, and seeing this as his opportunity to kind of take over, monopolize his company and then the Wayne Foundation, whatever the whole company, and kind of take Bruce under his wing, right? But not necessarily as like, oh, I'm gonna be a father figure, but rather I'm gonna use you, and then kind of also have Bruce kind of follow through that development. My parents just died. I know the city's in trouble. I'm a Wayne. I have some form of power. What can I do? And meanwhile, the Joker kind of in the background, still causing chaos. I would have him escape Arkham, because I think if his followers are that devoted to him, I think they'd figure out a way.
Yeah.
So it would just be that whole crazy, like, raising Bruce with the Joker just at the same time. Raising Bruce. No, but because you kind of mentioned like Bruce growing, right? Kind of still him.
It sounds like a sitcom. Raising Bruce.
Oh, Brucey, you got me.
Master Wayne, there's a package.
Master Wayne.
Also, I would hope that isn't Alfred, the guy I hope he's
Yeah.
kind of a crappy.
Was he a bad Alfred?
No, not
Or who would
to
you
be
like?
acted bad. Like the acting was bad, but more like
It doesn't seem like the Alfred you see.
No,
like,
I think
in every other
that guy
movies
is just
and
like a generic bodyguard.
yeah, right. It
Hopefully,
seemed like
Yeah.
I hope.
I mean, you gotta remember, he did go to the military.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So, but I mean, Alfred, I've always seen him as he can be a jerk at times, but when he has to be stern and firm. But he can also be that fatherly figure. So maybe that could also be a conflict of him versus Lex, who's trying to raise this boy who just lost his parents. Meanwhile, Lex has his bad intentions. Meanwhile, Alfred has good intentions, but also kind of doesn't know what to do because he's kind of been low key alone most of his life, trying to figure things out himself. So, just throw everybody from this freaking Batman.
Everybody.
A man
Throw
gets
Scarecrow,
lonely.
throw Suicide Squad in there. Throw Harley Quinn in there.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so it would just essentially be a continuation of that, and
Like, don't say it.
Because when like Bruce is young, technically Alfred is the one in charge until Bruce becomes of age, like 18. And then Alfred's like always on the weekends just getting prostitutes because he has so much money. And he's like, a man gets lonely. that's a whole sideshow. It's called Butler Dad.
this is why the sequel's never gonna happen. They're gonna have the studios gonna hear this and be like, yeah, let's not.
Just you know what?
We're not gonna do it.
Fucking call Adult Swim. Don't get on this.
But I would end it the same way you mentioned, how it would be him leaving off.
With Butler Dad.
I mean, don't close any doors yet. You know.
No, but it would essentially leaving it not ambiguous, but we like the fans know what's gonna go down, but
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, okay, oh, we know what country's
Just
going
India.
to this and that. He has the bag and everything. Like, okay, Arthur saying goodbye. I mean, Alfred. Sorry.
Just bye. Yeah, I'm joking now.
But yeah, so I think that would be, and then I'm gonna kind of switch it up, not because I want to be controversial, but I kind of feel this way
No, he doesn't.
only because of how much of an impact it had on me.
He's gonna bring in the animated series. I just know it.
Was it Mark Hamill?
Yeah. Oh, that was a great Joker.
But I would put my number one again, and it's close. It's so close. Again, it's a laugh away. No, all right.
When are we gonna hear? Just me. When are we gonna hear that laugh?
It's fine.
I already said the joke once, bro.
It's fine. I can repeat it. I have Joaquin as my number one.
All right.
Heath Ledger again. It's
Don't.
so. It's
Oh,
a laugh
okay.
away.
Oh my god.
I can't do it, dude. My throat. But
Hey, just like Joaquin Phoenix, even if it hurts
Yeah.
you gotta laugh.
start crying. And then third, Jack Nicholson, and then come on, I got shout out to my boy Jared Leto. I didn't mind the grills; it was okay. That tattoo in the forehead was a little weird. Eyebrows gun was kind of weird too.
It was Post Malone before he got famous.
Yeah.
I was about to say that. It's like I can't describe him too much. Post has his whole face tatted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh shoot. We've hit an hour, guys.
Hey.
Oh.
We actually reached the mark.
Yeah.
Let's
Pretty
see.
good
Well, before we close this out,
You see what I have to put up with?
It's Edward's secret power, man.
I was like, what?
He just did it at the same time.
See, Edward does that, and now Edward is Victor, and Victor is Edward.
Man,
Oh,
So that's how
felt this.
how he stays so young.
What the fuck is going on?
He's trying to become.
Oh, I'm not crazy.
He's like, excuse me while I go change pants.
But
Hey, everybody has
go.
their spots, man. Okay. I know, yeah.
oh, murder. But let's say before we close out, plug your stuff in, guys. Go ahead, talk about it for a couple minutes.
Oh,
So yeah,
Joe.
we're
this is my big man,
oh
Joe.
my god! Don't touch me! Don't
I'm not touching you.
so don't ever
I'm not
touch me
touching
again.
you.
Okay, so we're co-hosts of Jumblhoj. We have a podcast, and we recently started doing Let's Plays. Check us out. You know, we got Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening still like currently out. We got some Halloween things in the works.
So that's Jumblhoj, Jumblhoj. So no E in Jumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's hard to spell, but it's unique.
Yeah.
And that's for everything, right? Instagram and YouTube.
Yes.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify.
Oh, that's
We
right.
got
Congrats
Spotify.
on
Yeah,
that, guys.
we
Yeah, you guys on
got
Spotify. I
Spotify
saw
now.
that. Awesome.
Mhm.
And what was I gonna say? But yeah, we'll make sure to put all your info. Don't worry. We put it
Yeah,
on the description.
definitely.
Thank you.
To you guys, or not.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
Maybe
our
not.
channel.
Every time you mention your podcast, be like, beep.
Wow, it's a commercial break.
But yeah, I guess we can close it out. Any final thoughts? Any final things you guys want to spit out now?
No.
No,
Mm.
we said what we had to say.
I
Alright.
don't think I could say this online, so I'm good.
You said a lot of stuff. Buddy.
If you want, say it and I'll bleep it out.
No, I'm good.
He's just
not gonna
baiting
bleep
us.
it out.
So my
God.
social security number is.
Louis forgets some.
Yeah,
To bleep it out.
I already edited it.
It's fine.
Just give it
Because it's like at the end, so you just forget.
But, oh my gosh, what a show, huh?
Yo,
What a great
before
show.
we leave, we gotta hear that laugh, Louis.
Oh,
we gotta
yeah.
hear that laugh. Come on, before
I
we
did
close
it a
out.
little bit.
Yeah, you did it a little
I know, I heard it, but
Yeah.
did the audience hear that?
All right, 10 minutes in.
Is it better if we look away?
I know.
Can you
We
not
won't look.
Turn around.
People are looking at me. Hold on, let me. Oh shoot.
He's
Let
got
me
a
play
shy
it
laugh.
on. I gotta hear it a little bit. That's how I'm gonna.
Start hyperventilating.
Whoa.
He's
I didn't know it was this kind of party.
I know.
All right, I just gotta hear it.
He's like, I gotta hear it. Gotta warm my voice up.
Oh, that first one is like the best one. Let me see.
It sounds like a monkey. Yeah, see, there you go. That's
Pretty good.
I guess
Yeah.
you really have to make me laugh because now it's become a
Yeah.
part of my life.
Yeah.
All right, so it's like.
We can't make them laugh when we're
Oh,
outside.
yeah, I know. People are gonna be like, "Oh my
They're like-
gosh, what is that?"
Someone's gonna shoot us.
I know, right?
Run,
All right,
honey.
here we go. That's not it. I got it one more time.
Oh,
I got a.
That was like
hey,
a.
come on.
That was like a
You
smoker's
mom,
wheezy
man.
cough. It's like I've been smoking a pack for 40 years.
It's like a 40-year-old with high cholesterol.
I can't do it, guys. Deep breaths. All right.
Maybe some water to wet your
You
whistle.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
That was good. That was closer. That was closer. That was good.
Yeah, I think you genuinely have to make me laugh for it to come out.
Probably.
Because when I did it, as soon as we walked out,
Yeah,
I did it in the parking lot.
Uh-huh.
Dude, that thing echoed, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh
And
wait.
everybody was like,
Yeah, that was that's kind of weird.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, let's close the episode out before it goes on.
I saw a
anyway.
guy grab
Alright.
his girlfriend and just put her in front of him.
It's like you and me, too.
If you get shot, at least it's you, honey.
Right?
That baby ain't mine.
Alright, that's pretty bad.
There we go. We got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. There you go.
There we go. All right, everybody, we got after 30 minutes of trying
Yeah.
hard. But again, thank you guys for watching. I would say this is part one.
Yeah.
More collaboration with these guys. It's great to work with them finally after a while. But yeah, as always, subscribe, follow us at CouchPotatoes37. Subscribe, turn on notifications. Help us reach 100 subscribers. We're almost there. We want to get there before the end of the year. And as always, stay fat with a PH. Shout out to Zendaya, shout out to Kira, shout out to Angie Rose. And shout out to all the Joker fans in the world. As always, God bless. And we'll see you next time. Peace out, guys. Adios.